Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is MazezRealm once again, and welcome to a new episode of my series Keys to Success for Call of Duty Ghosts. And on this episode, I am going to be covering what you guys need to do in order to overcome bad starts in a particular match here in Ghost multiplayer. And I know that that happens to everyone. Whether you're a pro player, whether you're a pub stomper, it doesn't matter. At some point in time, you will have a bad start to a game and things will just not be in your favor. And that's basically what I'm going to be talking about in this particular episode of Keys to Success. Now, you can clearly see that I'm off to a really bad start here on the map Chasm on this team deathmatch. I'm 0-1, and I did get killed by someone who is camping on the back part of the map here with the MSBS assault rifle, which just melts people's faces. And unfortunately, that's what happened to me at the beginning. Now, you can clearly see in this gameplay that once I died, I wanted to go back for revenge, and sometimes that's not the best thing to do when you start out badly. But when you do start out badly, this is what you should not always do. If you have a submachine gun and you're trying to go back for revenge, odds are in a map like Chasm, you're going to have to trek through a lot of open sightlines. So once I noticed that that's what I was doing wrong, I decided to switch it up and actually stay to the areas of the map where I could be most effective with the loadout that I had. So after the host migration here, you know that the lag is an issue sometimes, and that will not help if you're off to a bad start. But as soon as I actually get back from the host migration, I get shot from behind because an enemy player did end up spawning behind me with the honey badger and shoots me from behind. So unfortunately, that was not a good thing at all. So now I'm in a little bit of a deficit here, 1-2 on this match, and it's just not how I wanted to start things, especially on the map Chasm, because I really do like Chasm quite a bit. I love the map, and not very many people can say that about a lot of maps here in Call of Duty Ghosts. But this map has an interesting flow to it, and it's fairly large. So if you're off to a bad start, you're going to have a lot of deaths if you're not careful, because anyone can be lurking on any corner. And that's basically what was happening to me on this gameplay. I'm 1-3 right now, and I don't know what exactly to do at this point, because some of those things have not been my fault, as it were. Sometimes people will spawn behind you, and that will happen in Call of Duty Ghosts. So you have to be careful of that. However, what I tried to do there is to stick to the outside of the map so that I at least had a little bit of a close quarters engagement advantage. And unfortunately for me, I killed one guy and then another teammate spawned there with him and he ends up killing me. So now I am 2-4 officially, and this is not a good start, not at all. But now I'm starting to see if I can get my bearings back. I see that my teammates are directly behind me, and when you are actually trying to overcome a bad start, what you want to do is head over to your teammates, get at least 1 or 2 kills, and establish the spawns once again with your team. That will really help not only you, but your team as well, overcome their bad starts and be able to actually start to get on the board, as it were. So right now we're down 18-22 is the score on this team deathmatch with about 6 minutes left. And you can see that my team is starting to anchor the spawns a little bit more, and that's helping out quite a bit, especially on a map as large as Chasm, because once you get the map control that you need, you'll be able to get some more kills. But still, my bad start continues. I am 4-5, so I'm still negative, and there are some things that you can actually keep in mind as well if you are not doing well with your particular loadout, I should say. If you're having issues with close quarters gunfights, and this I couldn't do anything about over here, this guy just camping in a corner, but either way, if you're having issues with your particular loadout in a particular match, and you know that it is indeed going to be a factor, switch up your loadout. For me, however, I was noticing that most of my gunfights were being won at close quarters combat but I was losing the spawning battle. So that's what I needed to keep in mind in this particular match. And on each match that you guys will be playing in Call of Duty Ghosts, there will be different situations that you'll have to adapt to, and you'll have to keep that in mind. If you're losing close quarters gunfights and you have an assault rifle that has a slow rate of fire, for example, or something like that, then you know that you have to switch your loadout. If you're having issues with spawning in front of enemy gunfire, then make sure that you retreat towards your teammates and start to get kills with your teammates, and then alternate the spawns a little bit in your favor. That is what you'll need to do, especially in this game because the maps are fairly large. Now, you can clearly see that Chasm has a really good flow to it, and most of my deaths happened because I was getting spawned on by the enemy. Now that I've established the spawns with my teammates and the sightlines are being covered by them and they're really settling down on map control, as it were, now I can be a little bit more of a slayer for my team and be a little bit more aggressive once again. And that's exactly what I was doing here on this gameplay. Unfortunately, I lose another close quarters gunfight, and it's just because I could not get the shots on target that I needed to. But now I am 12-7 here. My team has a tie at the moment, 39-40 now that the teammate does score, but we're going back and forth and exchanging a bunch of kills. And now what I'm doing is sealing off this club as much as I can. The red carpet club, as I like to call it, is where I was actually holding it down for a little bit to get my bearings back and get my specialist streaks going as well. And that's something that you guys need to keep in mind if you're on a death streak. It's okay to hold down areas of the map until you get your bearings back to try and be able to establish some more score streaks in your favor. So that is something that you'll have to do as well when playing Call of Duty Ghosts. And now you can see that I'm in the bad end of losing gunfights here and there. I lost a gunfight to one of the newer, cooler shotguns in the Call of Duty franchise, that MTS 255, which is a really unique shotgun. But either way, I ended up dying to that earlier on, and then I just kept dying quite a bit, and now I'm 17-9 and make that yeah, I'm still 17-9 after that assist. But either way, I was trying to get myself on the board here, and I just could not get shots on target. So another thing that you guys also want to do is make sure that if you're playing aggressive and you're coming out on the losing side of gunfights, to make sure to slow down your gameplay accordingly and then speed it up again when you need to keep the enemy off balance. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here on the Red Carpet Club, and just making sure that I can at least get my specialist streaks back. Now that I have Marathon, I know that I can actually run around the map a little bit more aggressively because I do have that ability to continue sprinting no matter what, and that's something that will be very good, especially when trying to avoid enemy gunfire. And now I'm starting to get on a little bit of a roll again. I am 21-8 right now, which is an okay kill death ratio considering I had a really bad start to the match. But now you can see that now that I'm regulating the spawns a little bit with my team, I am able to actually catch up to the enemy team and slay them and make sure that I get shots on target. Also, when you have a slow start and you start to get on a kill streak once again, keep in mind that you do not want to engage enemies that have a clear advantage. Or also keep in mind that if you do engage an enemy, you can get the shots on target that you need and get some kills. And I say that as I actually engage an enemy that I knew I could not kill, but I engaged them anyway, and that's why I paid, you know, with another death. Basically I paid for it with another death. So right now I'm 23-10. That's a 230 KD, and it's overall a decent comeback from the start that I had. Obviously this gameplay is here to show you guys what you can do to improve if you have a bad start and come out at least with a decent kill death ratio at the end of the game and a win as well. And that's exactly what we ended up doing here collectively as a team in this particular match. So I really hope that you guys learned something useful from this particular episode of Keys to Success. And until next time, this has been MazezRealm. I am out.